Hey, welcome back to the Grid Culture. Got some things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the blatant hypocrisy of the Republicans and conservatives when it's come to these Israel and Hamas and Palestine, Gaza, the West Bank and everything. When it's come to that, of course, I've been gone for a while. There's been a lot that's went on. But of course, you had the attacks on October 7th, and I'm not going to get into all the details of, the going back and forth, but let's just, all in all, and all of this, it's been documented. It didn't start on October 7th. People have been talking about this stuff, and we can pretty much recognize that, this is another tactic, a war tactic. America uses this tactic of, finding a reason, propping up a terrorist group within a particular area, and then allowing something to happen, simulating having a psyop happen on their turf. And I believe it's a psyop because, you're not going to tell me you have one of the strongest militaries in the world and some people on paragliders are able to just come across easily. So, it's another 9/11 type of thing. And just like America had a reason to go into the Middle East and do what they do, for all that whole time, and do it under the guise of looking for weapons of mass destruction when that all turned out to be a lie, right? It's the same crap. It's the same crap. But, here you are. People openly, they're going back and forth. They're not looking at the principles of what's going on. And here you got people who are holding a terrorist. Let's just look at it from face value. Let's not even do all the, the stuff that's behind it. The fact that, the terrorist attack got ignored. The fact that it got ignored. The fact that they were being propped up by Netanyahu and continuing to be funded. Oh, it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be funds for the people of West Bank, but that Hamas is controlling that territory, so that you're giving them that money. It's all tactics. It's the same shit. The same shit. It's what these governments do. These corrupt governments do, right? But not, given all of that, you have these people who are, like I said, they're being held to the terrorist group, being held to the same standard as a government. And no, Hamas is not a government. Hamas is not a government. They are a terrorist group. They are an Israel creation. And you have people holding them to the same standard of what's going on, of what a government's supposed to do. So because they went in and killed all of these people, thousands of people in Israel, it gives us the right to go in there and completely bomb the whole entire place. And then use the excuse that, Hamas is using these people as a human shield. Then first you were saying that, these people refused to leave.
That's why Hamas uses ambulances and why they put their headquarters under hospitals. That's why Hamas prevents people from evacuating a war zone. That's why Hamas prevents people from evacuating a war zone.
You're shutting off their power and stuff. And shutting off their power, shutting off your water. It's crazy how it's not a part of you, but you have power and control over their resources. That's crazy. You can talk about, that's how war goes and everything, but we're talking about morals and principles. Shit that's right. And if you follow, people follow these doctrines, what kind of God are you serving that would smile upon this? It's things to think about. Like I said, war is dirty. Shit, this country benefits the war. We get our luxuries because of what we do to other countries in this manner. But it's not right. And it's crazy to turn a blind eye to the shit. And they just going over there killing innocent people. Because they innocent people. What makes them any different from what's going on in Chicago and all the gang violence going around in the country? There's innocent people that get killed, you know, like this person got his homie killed and stuff like that. So we got to go kill something, you know, he got to kill something on the other side. But they don't get that same type of leeway, but it's, you know, it's justified when it's their little conflict, the political conflict. And all these innocent people, way more innocent people than anything that could go on in Chicago, Baltimore, Kansas City, St. Louis, and stuff like that. Way more innocent people. How come they don't just get called just casualties of war? They're just collateral damage. These people are sick. I want to get into the hypocrisy of the right, though, when it's come to all of this. You know, it's just a lot of these people, there's so many Zionists. This is not an attack on Jews. It's not anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic. You know, that word gets thrown around. They use the same crap, just like racism and homophobic. Y'all doing the same shit. And try to act like you didn't complain about when the liberals and the Democrats do it. You're deploying the same fucking tactics. I thought words were supposed to mean something. We're talking about men, women, and stuff like this. I thought words were supposed to mean something. So please tell me what the hell Semitic means. Look that up in the dictionary. Nah, but we can change words only when it fits your agenda, what you're trying to push. But it's been like this, and these people have an undying loyalty to Israel on the left and the right. But we're going to talk about the hypocrisy of the right. And of course, yeah, you've had a lot of people, the left is taking a stance within this whole entire show that we got going on, because, you know, people got to take a side. It's been a little bit more mixed this time. But there's a lot of Zionists over here. There's a lot of Zionists here in America, including your president. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, they have to go to the suit. You see them, they sort of go and touching the wall over to Israel, every president. You seen that picture? They all got to have support for Israel. It's not about America first or anything like that. But of course, Joe Biden has spoken out against what's been going on. I saw something, from what I saw, I believe he spoke out against, he said he didn't just make it a pro-Israel type of thing. And none of this is, one of what I'm saying is pro-Hamas and, all these deflection tactics they use. None of what I'm saying is none of that. Pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine. It's just standing for what's right. But these are the tactics that they're using. The same fucking tactics on anybody who doesn't agree with what they're saying. On anybody who doesn't agree with what they're saying. Just throwing out words, anti-Semitic, any criticism built off principle or anything, just deflection. And then you got mad when the liberals and Democrats were doing the same thing. You're changing the meanings to words. Nobody will go look up what the Semitic is, but we'll keep throwing out the word anti-Semitic. Oh, but there's multiple definitions, and they can update it whenever they see fit. Silly crap, man. But then the second it's you got people calling themselves men, calling themselves women, and women calling themselves men. Words mean something. There's no multiple definitions for that, right? Fucking goofballs, man. Another thing, they keep talking about LGBTQ. You know these folks. A lot of these liberals, their protests, of course, they go out protest. They ignore the shit that goes on here in the country. But they'll go and take a stand. They always take an easy stance when there's nothing on the line or stuff like that. But doesn't mean there's not legitimacy to some of the stuff that they may be protesting. For some of it, for the most part, it'd be bullshit a lot. For some of the stuff like this one, there's some legitimacy to what they're protesting, and how the Palestinian people have been treated. But you got the group, and they keep showing this picture, the LGBTQ for Palestine. Knowing that, there's no real written laws on the book that bans, that has any bans against the LGBTQ there now, like it used to be, but it's still taboo. It's looked at as taboo, and, you could face some punishment. People do face punishment and have to flee their country, flee that area because of that, right? But at the same time, Israel, where they flying gay flags, LGBTQ flags everywhere and stuff like that, and talking about their allies, but they don't even, it's illegal, it's same-sex marriage, it's illegal over there, right? So you got that hypocrisy, but okay, so you got LGBTQ for Palestinians, even though over in Palestine, it wouldn't be supported. There you go, grouping everybody together. You don't know everybody over in Palestine. It's a generalization, but whatever, let's go with it. It's still, even if that was the case, it still doesn't make what their gripe is about with what Israel doing. It doesn't make it any less legitimate. Let me give you an example. I've spoken out plenty of times, and a lot of people thought I was crazy, but I'm pretty sure a lot of Republicans will agree with this when I say that the KKK, they have speech rights. They have free speech. They can talk about, you can say anybody has free speech. You can say all day that you hate black people, white supremacists, whoever, KKK, white supremacists. You can say that you do not like black people, you want an all-white state or whatever. You can preach that doctrine all day. Where free speech ends is where the threats come, where it's an active threat to where now I have to defend myself. But other than that, they can give whatever doctrine or preach whatever that they want to preach. And you know what? I'm 100 times out of 100 times you say something about it, or if it gets brought up on the topic, I'm going to come out and say, hey, they deserve their free speech. Because there's an understanding that once you start taking it for one and start finding these reasons to why one group can't have free speech, they can now come back on you, and now they can start using that tactic and start labeling what you say as hate, as which what they've been doing here in America, calling everything hate. See how that works? And the Republicans were complaining about this, especially for the past 3 years, and now they turning around and doing the same shit. And I'm seeing people want people blocked from saying certain things. They want people censored now. But it's who they always were. You had that conference before the last election. Was that CPAC? Forgive me for having it wrong, but I forget. But it was the Republican conference to where it was the convention where the main topic was anti-censorship, where they wanted to get rid of censorship. But then, and they invited young Pharaoh, who was on fire in 2020 and was doing this thing, and they invited him out to speak on their behalf, but then found out about some of his stances and some of his criticisms of what the Zionists have done. And what did they do? They kicked him off of it. entered them. So it's always who they were. Always who they were. So what a person is LGBTQ and they're supporting what's going on is about the principle of the whole thing, and nobody's operating with principle. They're just going with this cult-like mindset. But it is what it is. Exactly what it is, and people is being exposed. And the people, the citizens, whatever it is, population here in America, they need to realize what their government is. They're not in it for your best interest. These aren't principled people. They're very evil people. And, you can keep voting for these buffoons, but it's going to be the same old story. It's going to keep going down the same way every single time. Nothing's going to change. You think stuff's going to change, you vote for, now people they want Trump back in and stuff like this because Joe Biden, they think Joe Biden's the reason. Joe Biden's a huge reason for part of the reason, but they don't understand the source of what's going on. They think that's why the economy is bad. Forgetting that Trump has signed one of the biggest bill, probably the biggest bill ever, and the biggest transfer of wealth when he signed that $6.6 trillion bill back in 2020. And that's the reason why. But, we ignore all that. And Biden definitely piled on more. People don't understand the politics, and people don't have principles. And when you don't have principle, that's how you get swayed all over each and every direction. So that's all I got to say about this. And y'all let me know what you think in the comment section, whatever you think I've missed, what you think I may be wrong on. But you better have some substance to it, because I know what the hell I'm talking about. The Grit Culture. I'll holler at y'all later.